Good afternoon. My name is James Oliphant, and we're going to be recording our first program in YouTube. I am known as the Stamp Pro, and the purpose of this program is going to be a little bit different from everything else. I do not try to get you to collect stamps. What I'm trying to do is give away my knowledge in a recorded form for future stamp collectors and others to be able to understand how our collection should be maintained, preserved, and what is important when you're collecting stamps. Now, with that in mind, who am I? I'm a member of the American Philatelic Society. I'm a member of the Central Florida Philatelic Society, and I'm a board member of the Sociedad Filatelica de Puerto Rico, which is the Puerto Rican Philatelic Society. I've been collecting since I'm 11 years old, and I'm 73, so that will tell you some experience. I've worked at stamp stores with stamp dealers, and I have changed sometimes from one collection to another, but currently I am specializing in stamps from Puerto Rico. So, this is going to be our first program, and our first program is going to be addressing what to do with a stamp collection now that you inherited. Okay, you're going through your grandfather's material, you're going through your father's material, you're going through your uncle's material, or aunt, or whoever, and you find a stamp collection. You don't collect stamps, so you know nothing about it. You have no idea what it's worth or how to dispose of it properly. In other words, how to sell it or not to sell it. Now, there are some guidelines I want to go over with you. First, if you're surprised to find out that your relative was collecting stamps, that is not a good sign. That is a sign that I have a friend of mine that he goes to every European country that he goes, every country goes in the world. He walks into the post office, he puts down $25. They give him stamps of that era. He puts it in a stock book, and that is his reminder of a great trip that he had. He knows nothing about what's a stamp, if it's valuable or not. He just does it for the fun of it. I've had others who inherited it, have no idea, never maintained it, but they felt bad disposing of it, so they put it in a box in a corner for somebody else later to deal with it. Then you have what I consider the serious stamp collector. Serious stamp collector, you're going to know that he's a collector. Your grandkids are going to know it. Your daughter's going to know it. Your son is going to know it. Your spouse is going to know it. Your neighbor's going to know it. And everybody around you is going to know that you collect stamps because you're going to be bringing it up. That is the collector that you have to be careful, because there you might have found some very, very valuable stamps and what to do with it. Now, your first instinct might be, oh, let's take this and donate it to a museum. They could probably get a better value. Museums do not deal with stamp collections. I'm going to start by that. Museums do not do anything with stamp collections unless you're going to take a trip to Washington, D.C. and take it to the U.S. Postal Museum that's right next to the train station. They might be interested if you have U.S. stamps. As a matter of fact, most of the stamps that were in the Museum of Congress were auctioned off. So they're not there. They sell them off to make money to maintain the library. That's one thing. Some other people say, well, let me donate it to a charity that I have a very good feeling for them and they do very good work. Well, they don't know anything about stamps, so you're just, again, shifting the problem from one area to the other. The best thing for you to do, the best, is to get some knowledge on it. Now, hopefully, if you have a serious collector, you can open it. He or she would have a description of what the stamp envelope means, where it comes from, and what catalog number it has, so you can seriously, and I repeat this, seriously do something with this collection. The other thing is, hopefully, they're so well organized that all you have to do is just pull it out. You have this page that will say 1855. This is these stamps, and this is the catalog number. You have everything done for you. All you have to do is now take it in. Now, second thing you need to do is what am I really want to do with this? Do I want to do like I inherited, that somebody else inherited, put it in a box in a corner, put it in a corner, hopefully that somebody else deals with it later, which is not a good idea because it might deteriorate, but that's an idea. The second idea, do I want to start collecting stamps myself? That's a great idea. That's the best idea. Take that stamp collection and improve it. Learn everything you can about it and improve it. Third, I want to sell it. Okay, if that is your choice, then this is the thing we need to discuss. First, you must determine where these stamps come from. What country? Now, today with Google, you just type in the spelling of that country and it will give it to you in English, so that should not be a problem. Others, like Puerto Rico, you could just see them and you know that they're Puerto Rico. Cuba, you know that they're Cuba, you have no problem. España, which is Spain, you might be a little bit confused in the way Austria and others are spelled, and even Germany, you might be confused, but you could get it. Once you have determined what country these come from, then you need to do one thing, is see if you could go to a used bookseller and get at least a 5 or 6 or 8 or 10-year-old catalog of those stamps so you could determine their number and their proper value. Now, considering that Scott is the largest in the United States, Scott, most dealers will buy it at 20% to 15% of Scott because they will sell it at 50. Second thing, once you have done that, you need to find a dealer who deals in those stamps. Do not take a Germany collection to a stamp dealer who sells US. He has no idea. What he's going to do is take it real cheap, hopefully contact the dealer from Germany stamps and try to make some money off of it. 3, understand this concept. Meat on the bone. Meat on the bone, it means if the dealer's going to buy it for you, sell for $10, he's not going to buy it for $9. That's not going to happen. He's not even going to buy it probably for $5. He's going to buy it for $4 because he has to advertise it. He probably's going to have to pay a fee to either eBay or to the American Philatelic Society or to another group where he sells those stamps. And that's where you're going to come up. Also, meat on the bone means I'm going to make enough money within a reasonable time. You could buy a collection and it might take you 20 years to sell it, and you bought it at a one price, but you had to wait 20 years to make some money. That is not something that most dealers are inclined to do. They'll take a collection and they'll resell it. They bought it for you $100. They'll go to a stamp show and put a price of $200 and move it, and it's gone. Now, if that's not what you want to do, you have other options. You could contact, let's say, the Germany Philatelic Society, the Cuban American Philatelic Society, the Puerto Rico Philatelic Society, the Spaniard Philatelic Society, and say, hey, I got these collections. Can you give me some feedback as to where's the best place to sell them? Do you have auctions so I could put them there? That's the other. You can always contact auction houses. Now, auction houses, be careful. There's 2 problems. They're going to charge you 22% of the profit of the price of sale, and they're going to charge the buyer 22%. And sometimes I don't even buy in those type of auctions because they become too expensive. The other problem is that they're looking for rare, exciting stamps that they can sell for $300 or $400 or $500, or a real good collection that they can sell for $1,000 or $2,000. A average Joe collection, they might not be interested in it unless it has 2 or 3 really expensive stamps in it, and the only way they can acquire it is by acquiring the whole collection. Auction houses are limited to groups of people, and those people may or may not be able always to give you the best price. Now, what alternatives are there? You could go online and find out what I'm about to tell you for free. eBay is the largest stamp dealer in the world. You take a photograph with your app of the stamps, You post them, you could put them on an auction, you could ask for a price, or you could even accept offers for those stamps. Basically, you would have to decide what you want to do. The other thing you could do is you could become a member of the American Philatelic Society and use their stamp store and put them there. And that would also give you an option. The good thing of both of these programs is that you're going to be getting income for the next 5 or 6 years. Because you're not going to sell them all at once, nor are you going to post them all at once. You post some this week, next month, and next month, and next month, until you sell everything that you have. You're going to make more money, but the money's going to take a much longer time to come in. Same with the APS than that. If you're in Europe and seeing this video, Del Camp, Toda Colección, and others similar, you could sell it. There are also places in Asia and in Russia that also sell stamps, and you could go there.